So, did I hear you correctly that at the beginning of the year you've pretty much planned out all the events for the full year?
Well, a lot. You know,
Wow.
because a lot of times, especially if you're going to coordinate with like an outside restaurant or, you know, other organization, the more advance notice you give people, the better,
Yeah.
you know. It just, it kind of makes, you know, obviously some groups are not as well organized as others, but, you know, like in any organization, the more organized you are in planning, the smoother things run. So.
Right.
Basically, what we'll establish is mostly the dates. And then once you have the date set, because everybody knows, then they kind of fill it in as the year goes on.
Okay.
Like at the first meeting, they might give us like October, November, December for that. And then come in January or something, we'll get like for the next 3 months the exact details and so on.
Yeah.
And it also gives them a little bit of flexibility to go, you know, with weather and conditions. If something new comes, if they want to see a show or a play or something like that, or if there's just something new on the radar.
Yeah. I can imagine that. I don't know if with me, maybe that wine tasting thing would be, I want to get that date and pencil that in to make sure I'm in town.
Wine tasters is a lot of fun. It's the third Saturday?
I mean, a lot of times it does tend to fall on the same Saturday because, of course, you know, the schedules of the co-chairs, you know, they have to kind of work it within their schedules.
Sure.
But we try not to always have it on exactly the same week of the month because this way, you know, to allow people who maybe that,
have something
you know,
else.
have something planned always
Right.
for that day. But we try to make sure that we don't have like 2 events in one weekend because then one of them is not going to get as good attendance as the other. And, you know, when people go to all the effort to plan, you want to have good attendance. So we try to have something every weekend, though, whether it be, you know, like this weekend we have a wreath making at the Brookfield Library where anyone can come. You know, it's a way for non-members to come and meet us, and you can make a wreath or a centerpiece. And then next weekend is wine tasters and that. So we try to make it so that there's always something to do.
Good. Okay, you mentioned about how it's organized, and is it up? It's up then to the chairs and co-chairs to kind of decide
Yes.
what events they want to do.
Right.
They do.
Right. I mean, if they have a question or they want some advice, they get in touch with us.
Right.
But for the most part, they function independently. But we know what you know, how can I say this? You know, they keep in touch with us to let us know what they're doing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And just say again, except for the costs, it's
The membership is basically $35 a year. It's an annual membership.
okay.
And that goes into our, you know, kitty or into our funds. Then we have advertising that goes into our newsletter. We collect funds from that as well. And there isn't, the club right now doesn't have a lot of fixed cost, mostly because we don't have a clubhouse or something like that. Our newsletter is now mostly generated through email as opposed to in hard copy, so we've reduced on printing cost. And most of the events are paid for by the members as each one goes. And if it's at somebody's house or to a restaurant, we're not incurring costs there as well.
Right.
So what we do is we try, like with the wine party now, that's the wine tasters party on the 17th. This one, the club will subsidize the food a little bit because we have money that we can give back to the members. And then we use the rest for advertising for things like the Best of Brookfield for, you know, promoting the club, printing the newsletter, printing out the pamphlets, making our little bags that we give to all new members, and things like that.
Yeah, we try to make it that, you know, you pay you $35, and for the most part, except wine tasters.
Yeah, or whatever you want to go to. It depends on what you want to go to, how much
But for
more
the-
you'll pay additionally.
Yeah, but
Right.
for the most part,
Yeah.
things are free.
Yeah.
You know, things that aren't would be what you'd assume, like wine tasters, and if you go out to a restaurant,
Sure.
you know. But we do try, and then we also do a barbecue at the in August, and that's paid for by the club and for all club members. And we also co-sponsor a concert in the park through Park and Rec.
Yeah. Your barbecue is out of
At someone's
members'
house.
home?
Yeah, most events are at members' homes, just because that's one way that we keep the cost so low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you host a wine tasters and you're a member, you don't have to pay for that wine tasting. So
Okay.
there it's free.
And the I would imagine you probably would have to pay in advance for that to make sure how many people are coming, you
Well,
have enough wine.
Exactly, yeah. You have to RSVP, and then usually you send a check to who's ever running the event, whichever co-chair.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it is true, because you want to make sure you have enough wine.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there ever any leftover wine? Or?
Yeah, there is.
There is sometimes.
Okay.
It's a tasting, not a drinking party.
Yeah, right.
Shucks. Okay. If there was, I don't know, one thing, I think you want to talk about the bunny breakfast, but if there is there anything in addition to the bunny breakfast, you know, one or two things that you want to leave with the audience that, you know, maybe you feel they're maybe not aware of or that they would want to know about?
I think one of the most important things about the club is that it's just really a great way to get to know people, to make friends, to keep friends, and to get involved like in the community around you. I mean, the fundraiser that we have, we give back to it, you know, through scholarships, through the food pantry, through the social services. A lot of our members volunteer at the food pantry and volunteer in other places. So it's not only what we as a club do, it's like the connections that you can make to do other things within the community as well. And, you know, Brookfield is a small town, and it's just really nice to have, like, that sense of community, and for me, a sense of giving something back a little bit, even, you know, if it's not monumental, but just giving some time to other things, you know. And we have a lot of fun besides that. You know, the fundraiser that we do is a tremendous amount of work. We raised last year over $6,000 for a social goal. That was what we made after our cost and everything was done like that.
This is for the bunny breakfast.
That was the bunny breakfast.
Right.
It's like this week it's on March 24th in 012, a couple of weeks before Easter. And we put a lot into it. We try to get sponsors. We have a vendor show. We have raffles. We have games for the kids. We have the breakfast, the bunny, and it's been going on. This will be the 23rd year that they've done it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. But it's a lot of fun, and you really feel a sense of community when you do something like that. You know, it's one of those things when it's finished, it's like, huh, but it also makes you feel good. For me, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, I feel like our club, it's all ages, it's diverse backgrounds, people with all different interests, and I think that's unique because a lot of times other clubs are focused, you know, on a certain, whether it be male or female, like a women's club or Rotary, well, I'm not sure about the Rotary, but, you know, like Knights of Columbus or men. And so we're very inclusive, and that's what I really like about that it's diverse, that, you know, always meeting new people and people who have come from all different, whether it be overseas or from the South, the Midwest. And it'll really make moving into Brookfield easier. And if you're somebody who's recently retired or just had a change in lifestyle and you feel like you're in the house too much, we're a great opportunity. You know, our club is a great way to meet people in town that you never had a chance to before.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Again, I'll just say anything else that I think we've covered everything. At least what we spoke about, you know, before the show. But any last thoughts or
well, the one thing,
if
somebody is interested in our club, they can check out the website. You're welcome to come to any event free of charge for the first time. And, you know, you can call on our website, it'll say the contact numbers and so on, and one of us can call you, can help you come. We'll escort you there if you want to be, just so that you feel that you're welcome and a part of something that's already going on.
Okay.
You know,
and the website is?
I'll mention that. Yeah, the website is www.brookfieldnewcomers.com. They also have flyers that can be found in Town Hall, the library, ShopRite, these yellow flyers, and the YMCA. We're going to wrap up our show now. Again, I'd like to thank our guests, Kathy Powers and Jerry Joe from Brookfield Newcomers and Neighbors Club, for appearing. And again, please contact them if you have any need any information, have any questions, like to talk a little further. I also want to remind our viewers that our air dates on Charter Channel 21 are Mondays at 4:30 and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Segments from this show, as well as earlier shows, can be found on YouTube at www.youtube.com/Brookfield Public Advo. We'd love to hear from you, whether it be comments, suggestions, guests that you might like to see, or topics that you'd like to see done on the show. And for that, you can reach us at brookfieldpublicadvocate@yahoo.com. Again, thanks for watching, and good night.
That was easy.